Hello class, pagpatuloy natin yung ating discussion dito sa general features in preparing or in presenting your financial statements. Of course, ang isusunod natin dito ay yung next four kasi first last video from fair presentation and compliance with IFRS hanggang materiality and aggregation. Ngayon naman, umpisahan natin sa offsetting hanggang dito sa consistency of presentation. Okay? O, di-discuss na natin yung offsetting, which is yung panglima. Pag sinabi po nating offsetting, meron tayong dalawang magkaibang account, no? Magkaiba yung nature. Pero, pinipresent natin sila on the net debt balance. Okay? Para mas maintindihan po ninyo ito at mai-relate po ninyo ito sa mga previous topics, ang unang pumasok dito sa isip ko ay yung partnership liquidation. Remember, pag nagko-compute tayo ng total partners interest, if you know what I am talking about, no? Partnership and corporation accounting. So, partnership liquidation, no? Ang mga balances, loan balances ng partner, ina-add natin doon sa kanilang capital account para ma-compute natin yung total partner's interest. So, ino-offset natin sila, di ba? Kung meron kang payable or meron kang receivable, okay, plus or minus siya doon sa capital account. Pero, dito ang pinag-uusapan natin na offsetting ay doon sa pagpe-present ng ating financial statements. And when we talk of offsetting, it means, or it simply means deducting one item from another item. Okay? Of different nature, of course, and presenting only the net. Pero please take note of the following because these are not offsetting, no? Alam po ninyo sa receivables na meron tayong allowance for doubtful accounts. Alam po ninyo na sa ating mga PPE, meron tayong mga accumulated depreciation. And this contra assets, no, reduces the balance of receivable at saka yung ating PPE. Kaya when it is presented sa financial statement, dapat makikita mo dyan, no, receivable net, property, plant, and equipment net. Okay? However, this is not considered offsetting. Okay? Because parehas po yung nature ng dalawang accounts, no? Related po yan. Okay? Now, ano ba ang offsetting dito? And please take note of the general rule. Kasi, it is not allowed, no? As a rule, it is not allowed unless it is required or permitted by a standard or an interpretation. Okay? However, of course, there is an exception. And the following is considered, no? Is allowed and applied when presenting on the net basis when it reflects the substance of the transaction or other event. Inaalaw po ang offsetting kung when presenting it on the net basis, it reflects the substance of transaction or other events. No? Netting any income with related expenses arising on the same transaction. So that is an example dito. Say netting, for example. No? Okay? Bigyan ko kayo ng example para maintindihan po ninyo yung concept ng offsetting. Ito po yung mga ilan sa mga halimbawa. Deferred taxes are set off against the deferred tax liabilities if they arise from deferred taxes imposed by only one taxing authority. Inaalaw po ito sa presentation sa financial statements. Okay? Neto yung dalawa. Yung isa deferred tax asset, yung isa deferred tax liabilities. And they are expected to reverse simultaneously kasi. Okay? On income taxes, you can refer to IAS 12. Okay? The standard on income taxes. Now, eto pa. The excess of proceeds from the sale of property, plant, and equipment over its amount is presented as a gain on the statement of comprehensive income. Di ba pag dinidispose natin, yung mga PPE na sabihin na natin, mga mahina, medyo matagal na sa ating possession, obsolete na, okay, pero pwede pang pagkakitaan, o kaya naman, binenta natin ito. Okay? Pag kumita tayo doon, meron tayong gain or loss. So, pwede po nating i-apply yung offsetting dyan. Okay? So, sabi nga dito, yung excess daw ng proceeds over its carrying value, it may be presented as a gain. Yung proceeds versus the carrying amount. Okay? That is why, meron tayong gain or loss. Now, also, yung presenting only the net unrealized gain or loss on financial assets at fair value through profit or loss, or the FA at FVPL, and the net foreign exchange transaction gain or loss. Ito yung mga ilang example kung saan inaalaw po yung offsetting. Because remember, general rule, offsetting is not allowed unless it is required or permitted by a standard or an interpretation. Okay? Now, tapos na tayo sa offsetting. Pag-usapan naman natin yung frequency of reporting. Under frequency, pag sinabi nating frequency, gaano kadalas? Okay, so gaano kadalas nagre-report? Financial statements should be presented at least annually. So alam niyo yan, na nagpe-present tayo ng FS every year. Okay? Although, ang tanong is, ano yung year-end natin? Calendar year or fiscal? Because remember, pag calendar year, it ends from, it begins ng January 1, magtatapos ng December 31. Pag fiscal year, it may start at in your calendar except January 1. So kung nag-umpisa ka ng April 1, nagtapos ng March 31, fiscal year po yan. However, in reporting the financial statements, it is presented at least annually. It is reported at least annually. In exceptional case, okay, parang in rare circumstances, if the statement of financial position date changes, kung nagbago daw yung SFP, yung balance sheet mo, at yung financial statements are prepared for a period na mas mahaba or mas maiksi sa isang taon, the fact should be disclosed. Ano nga ang tawag natin for a period shorter than 1 year? That is interim, di ba? So kung, in exceptional cases, nagbago yung ating statement of financial position date. Okay? Pwedeng mag-prepare FS ng mas mahaba or mas maiksi ng isang taon, kinakailangan pong i-disclose yan sa ating notes. Now, karugtong po ito nung doon sa kanina. Ang reason for using a period shorter or longer than 1 year and the fact that comparative amounts are not entirely comparable should likewise be disclosed. Bakit tayo gagamit ng period na mas mahaba or mas maiksi ng isang? At syempre, dahil mas mahaba or mas maiksi ng isang taon, hindi na tayo magiging comparative. Okay? Ano bang tinutukoy natin dito sa comparative? Ipapaliwanag ko ito mamaya sa inyo. Ito yung susunod natin na feature, pag-uusapan natin yan. But, when we are talking of comparative, we are comparing periods. Yun lamang po yun, Pero explore natin ito later. Reporting annually does not prevent presenting interim financial statements. Ito na yung tinatawag, ang nabanggit ko na kanina na interim. Pag nagpe-present tayo, pag nagpe-prepare tayo ng financial statements ng isang taon, hindi ibig sabihin na hindi na tayo pwede na mag-present ng mas maiksi doon. Usually, yung mga organizations, yung mga companies, nagpe-prepare yan ng mga interim for management. Kunwari on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis. So, pwede pa rin naman yan because it does not prevent the enterprise or the entity from preparing such interim financial statements. Okay? Now, tapos na tayo dito sa frequency. Dito naman na tayo sa comparative information. Pag comparative, meron tayong napagko-comparean. Okay? For analysis, di ba? Comparative information should be disclosed in respect of the preceding period. Period tayo ngayon, 2021. Okay? Ano yung comparative natin? 2020. Although sa ngayon, hindi pa tayo tapos, anong petsa tayo sa ngayon? By the time that I recorded this video lecture, it is October. So, wala pang hindi pa nga buo yung 10 buwan. Okay? Ang comparative natin 2020 which is already 1 year, So, ang tinutukoy kasi ng information is we can compare from the previous, okay? Anong nangyari noong 2020 pag pinag-usapan natin yung balance sheet, yung income statement, yung cash flow, changes in equity, at even yung mga notes. Okay? Kaya sabi dito, kinakailangang i-disclose. Okay? Yung comparative period for all financial information in the FS. Unless, okay, pini-permit okay, ng IFRS. Now, tignan po ninyo ito. Sorry. Comparative, narrative, and descriptive information shall likewise be included when it is relevant to an understanding of the current period's financial statements. Hindi lamang po yung mga balanse yung may comparative tayo. Pag nagpe-present tayo ng notes to the financial statements, kinakailangan din po na meron tayong comparative notes. Ipapakita ko po yan sa inyo. Halimbawa, ito illustration, ha? Pag present natin yung information for the current year, meron tayong two sets of all components of the FS. Ano ba yung set natin? Balance sheet, comprehensive income, cash flow, changes in equity, at saka yung notes mo. So, two sets po yan. Yung current year, yung end ng current year, at ng prior year. Usually, pinag-usapan natin dito annual financial statements. Two statements of financial position or the balance sheet. Tignan po ninyo ito. Example lamang ito, ha. We have the assets and the liabilities and equity, although hindi na na-capture yung equity, Pero this is a comparative FS. We have for the period of 2020 and we have for the period of 2019. Okay? Comparative financial statement yan. Statement of financial position. Dalawa yan. Yung isa, although isang report, pero dalawang statement yan. Okay? Etong unang mo for 2020, tapos pag in-ignore mo yung 2020, we have the balance sheet for 2019. Okay? Pangalawa, meron tayo ng comprehensive income. Ito naman yung example niya. This is the statement of comprehensive income. Hindi ko na nga lang na-capture yung label. Profit or loss statement, di ba? Extended with your OCI or OCL. So that makes it other comprehensive income or loss. Kaso, hindi ko na rin po naiabot doon sa pinakababa, but the concept when we are talking of comparative period, makikita mo may 2020 at saka may 2019. Okay? Comparative, di ba? Another one, statement of changes in equity. Pumiyok na si Sir. Okay? Ito naman example. Balance at January 1, 2019. Ito yung mga balanse. Tapos, ano yung movement natin for the year ng 2019? Profit and other comprehensive income. We have the OCI, total comprehensive income. Ito, OCI, sorry. But what I am referring to is your total comprehensive income for the year. Okay? Tapos, yung balance na natin at December 31, 2019. Na magiging beginning balance mo yan, January, di ba? Yan yung magiging balance mo at January 1, 2020. Tapos, insert naman natin yung profit for the year and then OCI for the year. Tapos, we have the ending balance. So, this, at itong statement of changes in equity na ito ay 2 taon. Iba nga lang yung presentation, pababa siya. Unlike kanina, na nakikita ninyo, 2020, 20. Tandaan ninyo, class, pag nagpe-present tayo, okay? Halimbawa, ito sa statement of cash flow. 2020, saka 2019, yung prior year, yung nasa kanan, hindi siya yung nandito sa pinakamalapit, sa mga statements. 2020 ito, 2019, this is the current year, this is the prior year. Kung naobserbahan ninyo yan sa balance sheet, sa comprehensive income, laging nandirito sa pinakamalapit yung ating current year. Okay? And of course, we have the notes. Two sets of notes. Halimbawa, sa notes to the financial statement, note 3 on trade and other receivables, presented itong mga balanse na ito. Tapos, meron tayong narrative. Remember, di ba, si notes to the financial statements, yung disclosures, ito yung nagkikwento nang hindi natin maisusulat statements. Kaya tayo dito merong narrative. Even dito sa baba, kunwari basahin ko lang ha. The carrying amounts of trade and other receivables as at December 31, 2020 and 2019 approximate their fair values due to their short-term maturity. So, kinikwento nito yung 2020, 2019, two sets of notes pa rin yan. So, hindi lamang po sa face sa SFP, Statement of SFP na pangalawa, na Statement of Financial Performance, okay? Sa changes in equity and the cash flow, hindi lamang po doon, kung hindi maging sa disclosure. Comparative po tayo palagi. Now, when an enterprise makes a retrospective adjustment, ibig sabihin, nag-adjust tayo sa mga prior year for any one or combination of the following. Kasi nagkaroon tayo ng change in accounting policy. May retrospective application yan. Correction of prior year errors, no? Ngayon lang natin na notice merong mali sa prior year. So maapektuhan po niyan yung mga balanse, no? Reclassification or amendment of items in the financial statements. Meron tayong mga, let's say, sa ating statement of comprehensive income, merong reclassification between the cost of goods sold at saka yung ating mga OPEX, operating expenses. So reclassification. Now when that happens, no, we have to please take note, any one or combination. When this happens, either one of the three happens, we have to prepare 3 statements of financial position. Balance sheet, 3. Una, yung current period. Pangalawa, yung prior period. At saka pangatlo, yung beginning ng prior period. So, naging 3 siya. Kung 2020 tayo ngayon, example lang 2019, yung prior have your 2018. Okay? Yung comparative natin ay 3 taon for the statement of financial position. How about, ito no, sorry, meron pa pala. Ginagawa natin ito para i-ensure yung comparability ng prior year with the current year or current period. Now, how about sa reclassification? Gusto lang natin na bigyan ng diin itong reclassification. Kasi classify ng comparative amounts, may mga disclosures na kinakailangan. Ano yung nature ng reclassification? Okay? Of course, yung reason laging nandyan, pero nasa letter C siya. Sa letter B nakalagay, amount of each item or class of items that is reclassified. Magkano yon for each item or classification? Okay? Tapos yun nga, nabanggit ko na, yung reason for the reclassification. Alright? Pag sinabi nating impracticable, hindi practical. Oo nga naman, nawala na yung gusto kong sabihin. Nakalimutan ko. When it is impracticable, to reclassify comparative amounts, an entity shall disclose the reason for not reclassifying. Kung hindi daw practical na mag-reclassify, dapat explain ni company bakit tayo classify the amount and nature of the adjustments that would have been made if the amount had been reclassified. So it has to be disclosed in our notes to the financial statements. Okay? Ano to? Consistency of presentation. May hindi ako na-update sa sa ating animation. Last na kasi ito, Under the consistency of presentation, ang sinasabi lang dyan, dapat consistent tayo. Kung paano natin ito pinipresent before, it should be presented as is. The same, Should be the same from period to period. Unless, maliban na lang, kung ma-meet nito ang A or B. Pag A, obvious daw. It is apparent, following a significant change in the nature of the entity's operations or a review of its financial statements, that another presentation is unless daw apparent, okay, na another classification or presentation is appropriate. Okay? Or, kinakailangan na magpalit kasi it is a requirement of a standard, of IFRS. Yun po yung tinutukoy dito sa letter B. Ano ba yan? Ayan, may mga putol-putol. Sige. Consistency of presentation. The manner of presentation of financial statements shall be retained from period to period. Kasi Kung the same dapat, so dapat yung manner of presentation, mariretain natin ito from period to period. Unless nga lang, di ba, that the changed presentation is more useful to the users and enhances the relevance of information. Pero, pag pinalitan ang presentation, comparative financial statements for prior period shall be represented unless impracticable. Kung natin yung presentation, di dapat yung comparative natin ayusin din, represented din, para comparative pa rin sila. Going back dito sa ating previous feature, yung pampito. Remember, we are only talking about consistency pero kung merong change sa presentation, dapat consistent tayo. Kung pinalitan natin ngayon, edi syempre, yung 2019, kung 2020 tayo ngayon, yung 2019 dapat papalitan din natin para maging comparative na sila. So, magkakapatid po ang mga yan. Okay? So, hanggang dito po tayo sa second half ng ating video lectures on the general features for the presentation of the financial statements. Now, if you have questions or medyo somehow, somewhere doon sa aking pagpapaliwanag ay medyo malabo, don't hesitate to ask me. Don't ask me. Joke lang. Huwag mahiyang magtanong para masagot ko kayo. Okay? So hanggang dito muna tayo sa video lecture na ito. I'll see you sa mga susunod na lectures. Bye-bye!